With the weather turning warmer, Joe Stango often picks up his mom Dora and brings her to a Southbury Starbucks for her favorite coffee. It's not a small effort. He must drive her in this specialized van he bought, then help her navigate in this wheelchair. It's a big commitment, but now he's taking it a step further, hoping he can change the way the state pays for care so that after coffee, he can bring his mother home.
We're not asking for more money. We're not asking for them to change the rules with regard to qualifying for Medicaid. We're just asking for a choice as to where the services are rendered.
Stango wants to allow nursing home patients and their families to request the same state money they qualify for now, but to be able to use that money for in-home care. The idea is for the money to follow the person.
You know, we have a room in the house for her, and all we need to do is have the people come in and help out.
And during a visit at her son's Southbury home, there's no doubt this mother is in favor of the idea.
You want to come home?
This is home.
There you go.
Joe Stango is on a mission. He wants to bring his mother home. As we first told you back in April, Stango is fighting for a plan called The Money Follows the Person. It would allow his bedridden mother to come home from a nursing home and allow Stango to get the federal money that pays for her care there to use for care at home. In April, he battled to get the law passed in Connecticut. Then he hit a roadblock.
I took my mom to the top of the mountain thinking we were going to see the promised land. When we got there, we just found another big mountain.
Recently, Stango learned Connecticut must now compete with 30 other states for that money. He's received thousands of letters of support since April and hopes those same people and others will pitch in again.
I'm asking anybody who has been touched by the issue of long-term care, of being forced to put a parent or a loved one into a nursing home because there were no other choices, I'm asking them to simply write a letter.
The state's application for funding is due on November 1st. The plan is to include any letters of support with that application in hopes that they will help. Eric Parker, Channel 3, Eyewitness News. Getting letters signed is the goal. Joe Stango is hoping for 10,000 of them as he fights to be able to use Medicare money that's used to care for his mom at a nursing home to care for her at his home. Today, Stango held a radiothon trying to get support, and people like Cindy Koval showed up. She cares for her mom at home in Glastonbury.
I can understand why people would want their family members home, and I could understand why people in convalescence home would want to go home.
Stephanie DeLuca came for her dad. Until this spring, the 62-year-old was managing editor of the Waterbury Republican-American. After a stroke, he's now paralyzed from the neck down and unable to speak.
We want to bring them home. That's where we can give them the best care. But until something changes, I don't know if we'll ever be able to do that.
And it's not only the elderly who are affected. Britt Harva had a stroke in 1993. She was 26 and almost ended up in a long-term care facility herself.
To have funding to allow someone to be at home if they have family that can care for them is a wonderful thing.
I'm willing to bet we'll probably get about 2,000, maybe 3,000 letters today, but we still have a long way to go.
And this isn't the only place you can get one of these letters. If you'd like one, just log on to our website at WFSB.com and click on Family. In Waterbury, Eric Parker, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Dear Joe, I support your effort in taking care of our elderly in the home. I've lived in a convalescent home for 7 years after heart surgery. My name is Jane Colby. I'm 94 years young. My son's wife, Audrey, is writing this for me.
Joe Stango's trying to change the rules for Medicare in Connecticut, so money spent to care for the elderly in nursing homes can be used to care for them at home. He's fighting for his mother and now for literally thousands of others. He came on Eyewitness News last week and asked for your help. You listened. He received 7,000 letters of support.
I have to say, the first day I had chills running up and down my spine. I was just elated to see a tray full of letters being handed over to me. There was about 1,000 in the one tray.
And the letters are coming from all over the state of Connecticut, from Gales Ferry to South Kent and 137 communities in between. There's also letters coming in from all over the Northeast, from New York, from Maine, and from Massachusetts.
And a lot of people are telling their friends and their family, and they understand what's going on, and they think it's a great cause.
And I suspect that we will hit our 10,000. It's just a matter of how far over the 10,000 will we get.
And he's hoping more of these letters will keep pouring in. In Southbury, Eric Parker, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
You were talkative then. She doesn't want to talk now.
Joe Stango's mom is home. After a 2-year battle, she made it. But sadly, her health is deteriorating rapidly.
It is a relief. It's a little bittersweet for me. We had thought, we wanted to give her quality of life, and we hadn't thought about dignity of death.
Stango's mother, Dora, became the poster mom of sorts for a program called Money Follows the Person. It allows state Medicare dollars that would have paid for care in a nursing home to be used instead for care at home. Stango says it's actually cheaper for the state, and with support that included his mom appearing at the Capitol, the program will be a statewide reality soon. He says it will be her legacy.
Before we left the Capitol, I got her in the van, and she said, very poignantly, she said, well, maybe some good will come out of all of this. And I think it will.
It's an issue that resonated with thousands. When Stango asked Channel 3 viewers to send letters of support, 13,000 of you responded in just a week. He asked us to pass along his thanks.
I want them to know that I took all of those letters, and even those personal ones, we gave them to the commissioner, and we gave them to the Human Services Committee. So they are all up there, and they are on record.
As for when other families will be able to participate in the Money Follows the Person program, that's still unclear. The state is still working out details with Uncle Sam. But at this point, they hope it will be sometime early next year. Eric Parker, Channel 3, Eyewitness News. Penny Mazzarone is battling MS. Unable to live on her own without assistance, she's been in a nursing home for 10 years. Today, Penny and 3 other adults who live in nursing homes came to the state capitol complex to tell lawmakers why they want to go home.
It's the well-being of the individual. And if they're able, with a little assistance, to be self-sufficient, then that's so important.
The legislature okayed a program called Money Follows the Person several years ago. The basic idea is that the state money that goes for nursing home care is repurposed to care for people in their own homes. Over 100 people have applied, and more than a dozen have made the transition. And advocates say the average patient who makes the switch saves the state between $3,000 and $4,500 a month. They say the program could save $30 million plus over the next 2 years.
So we can do what's morally correct, and we can do it in a way that saves the taxpayers of Connecticut dollars.
But for the program to expand faster, the legislature needs to include $165,000 in funding in next year's budget for Phase 2. Joe Stango first brought the idea to Connecticut as he fought to bring his mother home. He's now hoping that even in tight times, the state will use their savings to make an investment in the future.
So we can take a piece of this and put it into the infrastructure, help these folks home get home faster.
If the $165,000 is not included in the budget, it will likely be 2012 until the second phase of Money Follows the Person kicks in. In Hartford, Eric Parker, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.